Welcome to episode 246 of OTD, your daily dose of soccer history by 17 Laws Guy. It's July 4, 1954. Bern in Switzerland, Wankdorf Stadium. World Cup final, West Germany against Hungary. This is not supposed to be a contest. Hungary are the Magical Magyars, Olympic champions, unbeaten in official internationals since 1950. The team that beat England 6-3 at Wembley, then 7-1 in Budapest. The team that beat West Germany 8-3 earlier in this same tournament. After 8 minutes today, they lead 2-0. And still, somehow West Germany win. West Germany 3, Hungary 2. Das Wunder von Bern. The Miracle of Bern. But how did we get here? Start with West Germany. Less than 10 years after the Second World War, German football is still rebuilding inside a shattered country. Cities are damaged, institutions have to be reassembled, international respect has to be regained. The DFB comes back together in the early Federal Republic. West Germany is readmitted to FIFA in 1950 and plays its first post-war international that November against Switzerland. The coach is Sepp Herberger, and Herberger is continuity itself. He had coached Germany before and during the war. Now he becomes the architect of the return. He is not glamorous. He is methodical, careful, full of sayings that sound simple until you realize how much football is inside them. And here are 3 of them. The ball is round. The game lasts 90 minutes. And the game is before the game. You probably heard them before, and now you know who came up with them. Domestic football is not yet Bundesliga football. That league is still 9 years away. West German football is regional Oberliga football, then national finals. The early 1950s belonged to clubs such as 1. FC Kaiserslautern, VfB Stuttgart, 1. FC Nürnberg, and soon Rot-Weiß Essen. Kaiserslautern are especially important. Fritz Walter, Ottmar Walter, Werner Liebrich, Werner Kohlmeier, Horst Eckel. The spine of Herberger's team comes from that club. Then there's Helmut Rahn from Rot-Weiß Essen, Max Morlock from Nürnberg, Toni Turek from Fortuna Düsseldorf, Hans Schäfer from Köln, and Jupp Posipal from Hamburg. A team from a country still re-entering the football world, built from regional clubs, guided by a coach who knows exactly how fragile and how powerful the moment is. Now Hungary. We have lived with them several times on this show. The Magical Magyars are not just good, they are the future arriving early. Gustav Sippes builds a team around state planning, club concentration, tactical intelligence, and player movement. Puskás, Coxis, Hidekuti, Sibor, Bosik, Grosics, Zacharias, Busanski, Lantos. They win Olympic gold in Helsinki in 1952. They win the Central European International Cup. They beat Italy 3-0 in Rome. They destroy England's sense of itself, 6-3 at Wembley in 1953, then 7-1 in Budapest in 1954. Before the World Cup, they're not merely favorites. They feel close to inevitable. Then the World Cup in Switzerland. Hungary beat South Korea 9-0. West Germany beat Turkey 4-1. Then Hungary meet West Germany in the group. Herberger knows the strange format. Lose to Hungary and he may still get a playoff against Turkey. So he rotates. He holds some players back. Hungary win 8-3. But the match matters. Puskás is injured after a challenge by Werner Liebrich. Hungary still look terrifying, but the captain's ankle is damaged. West Germany beat Turkey 7-2 in the playoff, then Yugoslavia 2-0 in the quarterfinal, then Austria 6-1 in the semifinal. Hungary take the harder road. Brazil in the Battle of Bern, which we talked about exactly a week ago. Uruguay defending world champions in the semifinal, both 4-2, both exhausting. So the final gives us the obvious favorite against the recovering underdog. Rain falls, and in Germany, that becomes Fritz Walter weather. Walter had suffered malaria during the war and was set to play better in cool, wet conditions. The pitch is heavy. The ball skids. The game slows in ways that help West Germany more than Hungary. And the boots matter too. A guy called Adi Dassler is with the German camp. West Germany have boots with changeable studs, better suited to the wet Wankdorf turf. We should not turn a football boot into a magic wand, but on this day, in this weather, equipment becomes part of the miracle. And Adi Dassler's company, Adidas, becomes forever associated with the German national team. But still, After 6 minutes, Hungary score. Puskás, not fully fit, but still Puskás, makes it 1-0. 2 minutes later, Sepp makes it 2-0. 8 minutes, 2-0. After the 8-3 group match, it looks as if the final is already turning into confirmation. But then the miracle starts breathing. 10th minute, Rahn drives the ball across. Morlock slides in. 2-1. 18th minute, Fritz Walter corner. Hungarian goalkeeper Gyula Grosics comes and cannot claim cleanly. Rahn arrives. 2-2. After 18 minutes. Crazy. And now the match changes. Not because West Germany dominate. They don't. Hungary create chances. Hidekuti hits the post. Koksic hits the bar. Turek saves. Kohlmeier clears. Puskás struggles through the pain. The Magyars keep moving, but something is off. The pressure of destiny is no longer abstract. They are no longer demonstrating superiority. They are trying to rescue it. Herberger's plan is doing work too. Horst Eckel tracks Hidekuti and reduces the freedom of the deep-lying centre-forward. The Germans are compact, stubborn, and increasingly convinced that Hungary can be touched. Then, 6 minutes from time, Hans Schäfer attacks on the left and sends the ball in. It is partly cleared. Rahn takes it. He shapes. Left foot. Low shot. Goal. With Germany 3, Hungary 2. On German radio, Herbert Zimmermann's call becomes immortal. And I'm translating from the original German here. Rahn should shoot from distance. Rahn shoots. Goal, 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 goal for Germany. But Hungary are not done. Puskás puts the ball in the net. The flag goes up. Offside. To this day, Hungary disputed. Then another chance. Sepp close range. Turek saves. Final whistle. West Germany are world champions, and Hungary have lost the only match they could not afford to lose. So what was the miracle? It wasn't one thing. It was Herberger's tournament management, accepting the 8-3, learning from it, protecting players, and reaching the final with belief. It was tactical. Eckel narrowing Hidekuti's influence, Germany defending the center, forcing Hungary into impatience. It was physical. Hungary had survived Brazil and Uruguay. Puskás was not fit, and the rain slowed the pitch. And it was material. The boots certainly helped. And it was also psychological. Hungary were carrying the burden of being almost certain champions. West Germany were carrying the freedom of a team that had already been written off. And yes, it was controversial. Hungary felt Grosics had been impeded for Germany's second goal. They felt Puskás's late equalizer should have been stood. Later, there were doping allegations. German players had received injections said at the time to be vitamin C. Later research suggested there were strong indications of pervitin, though not courtroom-level proof, and no drug tests existed at the time. So the Miracle of Bern is not clean, but history rarely is. For West Germany it becomes something enormous. A football victory cannot wash away a war. It cannot redeem crimes. It cannot rebuild cities. But in 1954, it gives the Federal Republic a public moment of joy, unity, and international belonging. A generation hears itself celebrating again. The line sometimes attached to it is uncomfortable but revealing. We are somebody again. That is why the match matters beyond football. It helps West Germany imagine itself back in the world. And in football terms, it creates a path. Germany becomes Germany. Not instantly, not fully, but the line runs from Bern to the Bundesliga in 1963, to Helmut Schön, to Euro 72, to the 74 World Cup, to 1990, and to 2014. Fritz Walter becomes a national symbol. Kaiserslautern Stadium later carries his name. Herberger becomes the grandfather of German football wisdom. Rahn becomes the boss, the man of the shot. Turek becomes the goalkeeper of the miracle. And Hungary? They don't disappear. That is important. They remain brilliant. Between 1950 and 55, they win almost everything. After Bern, they keep producing extraordinary results. Later in 54, Honvéd played Wolves in the famous floodlit match at Molineux, one of the sparks that helps lead to the European Cup. But the spell has been broken. At home, the defeat is received not as a normal loss, but almost as a public trauma. Some accounts describe protests, anger, and the team needing protection from the fury of supporters. In a harsh communist state, the Golden Team had carried more than football. They had carried national pride. Then in 1956, the Hungarian uprising, Soviet tanks. Honved abroad for the European Cup tie with Athletic Bilbao. Check out episode 50 about that story. Puskás, Coxis, and Cibor eventually go west. Bosic returns. Hidegkuti stays. The team that should have been crowned in 1954 becomes scattered history. And that is why Das Wunder von Bern is also the tragedy of Budapest. Before we go, 3 things to take away from July 4, 1954. First, West Germany's victory was miraculous, but not accidental. Herberger managed the tournament, read the opponent, and built a team resilient enough to survive Hungary's best football. Second, Hungary's defeat was not a simple collapse. They led 2-0, created chances, hit the frame, had a late goal disallowed, and played with Puskás injured after a brutal route through Brazil and Uruguay. Third, the match changed 2 football nations. West Germany found a founding myth for Die Mannschaft. Hungary lost the title that should have crowned the Magical Magyars, and 2 years later, history broke the team apart. On this day in 1954, West Germany beat Hungary 3-2 in Bern, overturning a 2-0 deficit against the greatest team in the world and giving football das Wunder von Bern. The Miracle from Bern. That is all for episode 246 of OTD, your daily dose of soccer history by 17 Lost Guy. Please help me and the algorithm push this show in front of new people by rating it 5 stars and sharing it with all your friends. Tomorrow, go to July 5, 1982. Barcelona. Italy against Brazil. Paolo Rossi against maybe the most beautiful team never to win the World Cup. Paolo Rossi 3, Brazil 2. One of the greatest matches the World Cup has ever seen. See you then.